Alright boys, welcome back to another video. Knicks Daily here. So basically everything that's happening, I expected. Precious Achua is going to be the backup center and some sort of forward wing would be signed. I personally would have bet on Gordon Hayward, but the Knicks went with Chuma Okeke, which makes sense. He's younger than Hayward. He's about to be turning 26 years old, former first round pick out of Auburn. In 47 games last season, Okeke averaged 2.3 points and 1.7 rebounds. But to the Knicks, that doesn't matter because he's not a lock to make this rotation. He's going to have to earn it. The upside's clearly there. I like his size as well at 6'6", 229 pounds. He definitely looks and plays bigger than that. He looks like he's about 6'8" when you actually watch him out there. He's got a handle. He can get to the basket. His jumper's not the greatest. It's still a work in potential. But we saw that Miles McBride was a guy that he continued to improve his jump shot, and he ended up being a big-time rotation piece for the Knicks. I think this is a good move. It's a two-way wing, a guy with upside, somebody who had experience at least playing for a good Magic team, a team that made the playoffs, ended up losing in the first round ultimately to the Cavs in 7 games. I like the move. If you go back to the 2022-23 season, he averaged 9.7 points and 3.7 rebounds on 0.7 steals in just 21.7 minutes a night. So there is an example right there of him playing at a high level. If the Knicks were able to get a 10 points per game score off of their bench, that would be fantastic. But right now, our rotation is going to be incredibly difficult to make. The obvious guys, Brunson, Bridges, OG, Randall, Robinson, that's 5. McBride, 6. Devo, 7. Hart, 8. Precious, 9. And then 10... is it going to be Campaign? Probably. And then outside of that, Tyler Kolek's a guy who I think is going to have to continue to develop. Keita Bates Diop's a guy who, again, he's kind of in the same range as Okeke. There's a lot of depth on this Knicks team, though. Injuries are going to happen. Guys are going to get chances. The main thing, though, is just having a lot of wings because that's so crucial in basketball. Right now, we've got Bridges and OG, Josh Hart. I think Devo can play multiple positions, but if guys are going down, if they were dropping like they did last year for the Knicks in the playoffs, having players who can step in and contribute is going to be huge because we definitely don't want to be running 6-man rotations. That's not going to work. In order to beat Boston, the Knicks are going to have to go 10 to 12 on their bench every single night to keep these players well rested. In the playoffs, I don't have an issue with Brunson playing 40 minutes, obviously, or Josh Hart playing 48 minutes was kind of crazy, man. I mean, you could tell that Hart towards the end of the playoffs was just not the same. The minutes were taking a toll. Yet alone the playoffs, but just the second half of the season, he was leading the league in minutes. So I don't want to hate on Tibbs because I think he's a great coach, and I'm glad he got extended. But we've got to be realistic here. The Knicks need 12 guys in their rotation that can contribute. Boston last season was a team that they would have no issue playing 12 guys. And for the Knicks, that's something that I definitely would like them to do. I'm just kind of wondering exactly the amount of opportunity that these players are going to have because, again, it's so competitive right now. I don't even know if we would even go out there and bring in another center because I remember Ian Begley talked about re-signing Precious and then bringing in some sort of big, but it's looking like Precious Achua is going to be our backup center. Jericho Sims is here if needed as well, and then the rest is just focused around wings. We've got Randall at the 4. And outside of Randall, Precious obviously can play the 4. We've got, I would say, Keita Bates Diop and Chuma Okeke can play the 3 and the 4. I think that would be fair to say. So we have guys that are very versatile, and I like this roster. I truly do. I think the starting lineup's the best in basketball. Jalen Brunson's a top 5 player. Julius Randle's an all-NBA player, multi-time guy, was playing the best ball of his career before that injury, of course, back in January. Mikal Bridges, say he's like a borderline all-star. I don't think he's quite there, but he's very close. OG Anunoby is one of the best two-way players in basketball, and then Mitchell Robinson is, I would say he's the best rebounding center in basketball, especially on the offensive glass. He would have put up historic numbers hadn't it been for that injury. Again, just staying healthy is going to be the key. And then we've got Dante DiVincenzo, who would start on a lot of teams. Miles McBride is somebody who, when he started last season for the Knicks, he was averaging 17 a game. I mean, everyone is making it seem like McBride's just a role player, which he is for the Knicks. But again, he's a good defender, an incredibly efficient shooter. He can score. He's just not a great playmaker. I think he'd be a good 2-guard, though, on a lot of teams in the league. It's just the Knicks don't have space, right? I mean, Mikal Bridges, any team would want him on their roster. There's a reason why we saw, like, for example, like the Memphis Grizzlies trying to put all these picks together to go get him. There was a lot of teams that wanted him. And then Josh Hart, again, Chua are... I mean, it's just a great team, man. There's really no other way around it. I like this roster. I mean, imagine a starting lineup of, like, Miles McBride, Dante DiVincenzo. At the 3, you could go with, I guess, Josh Hart. At the 4 would be Precious. And at the 5, Jericho Sims. I don't think that team would be that bad. I'm not saying it will win a championship, but I think that team would be watchable. I think it'd be fun. But that's just our second unit. I mean, our second unit would not be the worst team in the East. It would be far from it. Like, we'd be better than I think we'd be better than the Wizards with Coach Tibbs. We'd be better than the Pistons. We'd be better than the Hornets. We'd be better than the Wizards. We'd be better than the Raptors. We'd be better than the Nets. I think. Yeah, I mean, that's literally like 5 teams that our bench would be better than. It's crazy to think that, but... And then our starting lineup, I think is the best in the league. Boston's the one team that can mirror us, but we're chasing them. That's why we got Mikal Bridges. We want guys that can switch, that can defend, but also can score the basketball. Mikal Bridges is an elite defender, but he also, last season, averaged 20 a game. I think, honestly, that will probably go down because he's playing with Brunson and Randall, but his efficiency will increase and his defense will get better. Because he's going to be the third option versus the first option on offense, and then he's playing with OG. So OG is going to take the task of the best defensive player. I mean, it's just a win-win scenario for everyone, and it's awesome. It truly is, and I'm excited. I'm super excited for the Knicks. Can't wait. Glad that they ended up signing Okeke, and I'm glad as well that they re-signed Precious, and now it's just all about the season starting. So it's August 5th when I'm recording this. So we have to go through September, and then October is when the season starts. So we're basically, I would say, I don't know the Knicks' first game, but we're only a couple of months away, guys, from the Knicks basketball returning. It goes fast, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the video. If you agree, do you disagree? Let me know about my take on the second unit. Do you guys think that our second unit could be a very competitive team? I don't know, man, because we don't have a go-to guy, but I would say if we had Randall... Because we're the 4th seed with Randall, like, before we even got Brunson. Back when we had, like, Mitch and Randall were the only guys on this current team that were there. And we literally were the 4th seed, and that was a worse roster. Like, if Randall had Devo, Hart, McBride, Achua, are you kidding me? Jericho Sims, I think literally our bench is going to be a huge strong suit for us. And that's something that last season we had a lot of depth. But in terms of a fully healthy Knicks team is crazy going into the playoffs with that starting 5 and then being able to deploy Hart and Devo off the bench, McBride, Chua, campaign. Hopefully by the end of the year, Tyler Kolek has taken a huge leap and is ready to play and playmake and make guys around him better. But really all I got for you guys, man. Let me know your thoughts. And it's your boy, Knicks Daily. I'm out.